Sup summoners, how are you doing, and welcome back to another ProGuides Wild Rift video. My name is Kirks, and for today we are going to take a little sneak peek at one of the new champions that's going to hit the Rift soon. Ready for Nunu? Cause I'm not. With the release of Nunu and Brand literally around the corner, it's time for some champion guides. Both of these champions have had their shiny moments on the PC variant of League of Legends and are really scary for different reasons. But for now, let's start with Nunu and you'll get Brand a few days later. First up, we start with his abilities. Dealing damage to enemy champions, large monsters or structures grants Willump and his ally nearby Call of the Freljord, increasing their attack speed and movement speed for 4 seconds. Also, while Nunu and Willump are under the effects of Call of the Freljord, their basic attacks cleave for bonus damage. Next up is his first ability called Consume, and he'll literally eat something when he casts the spell. It deals true damage to monsters and heals Nunu for a significant amount when used. This healing effect is also massively increased once he's on low HP. For objectives, he can almost guarantee any kill by combining Smite and Consume. I mean, who's supposed to deal more damage than you in those scenarios? But before we continue with the video, make sure to check out our Discord in the description below. Giveaways and regular events are more than common with the ProGuides family, so join in for some fun. Also some fun comes in the form of Nunu's second ability. Willump rolls a snowball that grows in size and speed. The larger the snowball, the more damage it deals and the longer it knocks up. When the snowball impacts the wall, enemy champion or large monster, it explodes, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies and knocking them up. It rolls over minions and small monsters in its path, dealing less damage. Reactivating the ability rolls the snowball forward in a straight path, so it's basically a skill shot. And with that, we have the most obnoxious gank tool in the history of Wild Rift and League of Legends PC combined. This snowball is just too fast to deal with, and ganking is just overpowered once your champion hits his core functionality. So for Nunu you might see level 2 ganks, level 3 ganks, level 4 ganks, well, a wave of unending ganks, and if he happens to be level 3 you're most likely dead in any scenario. Especially thanks to his third ability, which makes it even harder to survive anything Nunu related. For 3 seconds, Nunu starts rapidly throwing out snowballs into any direction you want him to. Champions tagged by those get massively slowed, and if they happen to be too close to Nunu, they'll end up being frozen at the end of those 3 seconds. So if you combine your snowball that knocks up people with the slow and the root of this ability, how can anyone escape? Like really, what are they supposed to do if they don't have flash or any major movement ability? I think it's time for a small break in our question of the day. How many times do you call for a surrender vote after losing the first dragon? Be honest here and let us know in the comments below. Last but not least comes his ultimate ability, Absolute Zero. Nunu channels for 3 seconds, sapping the area of heat. Nearby enemies have their movement speed slowed and the slow increases over the duration of the channel. In addition to that, Nunu and Willump receive a shield that absorbs damage. This is also the case over 3 seconds after the channel ends. Not only that, but enemies caught in the area when the channel ends take magic damage depending on how long Absolute Zero was charged. And trust me when I tell you that this ability hurts. You might even get one shot if the Nunu has some AP. So whenever you're wandering the jungle without any vision and walking too close to brushes, you might pop in an instant. So be aware and look out for any moment you appear to be slowed. So now that we got the abilities out of the way, let's talk about what you can do with this champion. What are his strengths and his weaknesses? For one, he may be flexed into multiple positions, namely jungle and mid lane. In the PC version, he used to terrorize the mid lane by literally destroying the very first wave. This then allowed him to instantly move to another lane to gank them. How annoying is that? And for sustain, he might just chomp a minion and walk off into the sunset. So for mid lane, I think we could very likely see a Rod of Ages, Rabadon's Death Cap, Void Staff, Infinity Orb, and whatever item you deem is okay in combination with appropriate boots in a Glorious or Rocket Belt enchant. Honestly, I don't even want to see that, so please don't. Other than that, especially for jungle, it's also very likely to see a super tank who rushes Sunfire Aegis, defensive boots with a Gargoyle enchant, Spirit Visage, and a lot of supportive items such as Abyssal Mask in Zeke's Convergence. However, I also wouldn't rule out the possibility of hybrid builds that go for Rod of Ages first into a more tanky oriented version. Keep in mind, those builds are very experimental and we'll see over time which one is the best. Personally, if I were to name the 2 greatest strengths of Nunu, I'd say his ability to gank and his ability to do objectives. His infinite sustain paired up with the previously mentioned Smite Chomp combo are just too insane and reliable to pull off. On the other hand, his greatest weakness is crowd control. Champions such as Yasuo and Braum can make his life a living hell and foil his plans continuously. Don't forget, they have a wound wall and a shield that block projectiles. Not only that, they also have quite the amount of CC. Another thing is that in the PC version I'd also say that the tendency to gank too much is really hurtful for Nunu players, as they should find balance between farming and ganking. However, in this game, farming your own jungle isn't as important in direct comparison. Collecting local gold from ganks on solo lanes really makes up for the lack of farming, and if you end up with a kill you get way more experience than any jungle camp provides. Nonetheless, don't get too complacent with just ganking all the time. Think about what you want to do first and how reliably you can pull it off. Otherwise, you'll run into the same Janna tornado 5 times in a row, which stops you engage entirely and will lead to you falling behind. With that, we're at the end of today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around for the next upcoming brand video. Peace.